Good morning. This is Libby Prairie reading the next chapter in the Chronicles of a Mad Lab Assistant, a Dr. Pygmalion. Today I'm podcasting from the wonderful Gregory School, an amazing private school in Tucson, Arizona, where everybody's super nice and the kids are wonderful. Also, this chapter is being sponsored by the Cuban Club. The Cuban Club, to my experience, makes really marvelous freeze-dried curries based on authentic Indian recipes. And you can get 30% off your purchase when you use my postal code during checkout, MadLab. And you can get it directly to your door, and you can taste some of their amazing curries. Okay, so today it is chapter 7 of Chronicles of Mad Lab Assistant, a Darker Pygmalion. Cursing shatters the early morning stillness of the Miskatonic University campus. Fortunately, the door to the workshops was closed, shielding any passing pedestrian from the string of profanities that escaped Edward's lips. Thou herself ensured that few were about to witness his moment of lost composure. For that reason alone, Ed had never been so thankful for solitude. He glared at the still figure lying prone upon the work table. Actually, several tables joined to support his latest project. Most of his undertakings were steam-powered engines fit for motor vehicles or airships. This one, however, departed widely from his customary pursuits, enough to surprise anyone acquainted with his usual tastes. Before him lay the semblance of a young woman, her bobbed auburn hair framing a face frozen in an unsettling grin. She wore a pleated pale lavender frock, silk stockings, and Mary Jane's. Glove concealed the joints of her fingers, lending her the uncanny semblance of a finely wrought mannequin. Ed hauled her into a sitting position and inserted a small key into an almost invisible aperture in the base of her skull. He turned it slowly, listening to the faint ticking of the clockwork within. Repeating the process at several other points along her back, he finally placed the key on a lavender ribbon and slipped it beneath her bodice for safekeeping. With the various mechanisms wound, he restored her attire and stepped back to observe. She moved jerkily, her head tilting unnaturally to one side. Gradually, her eyelids slid upward, revealing glassy green orbs. Edward steadied her as she rose to her feet and then released her. She took halting unsteady steps in a straight line before colliding with the wheeled cart and tumbling to the floor. Her legs continued their mechanical motions, but she made no effort to rise. It was like watching a slow-motion train wreck. She lay on her side, the pleats of her skirt riding up to reveal the tops of her stockings. Her legs moved rhythmically beside the overturned cart, while her arms remained inert, showing no inclination of trying to right herself. Ed slumped into a chair and sullenly waited for the clockwork to wind down. He was grateful to have attempted this early in the day. When the limbs finally ceased their movements, he hauled her upright and carried her back to the table. Carefully removing her wig, he opened the back of her skull and inspected the mechanisms. With a screwdriver, he made several adjustments. Satisfied, he sealed the skull and replaced the wig. He wound her once more and was pleased to see her arms moving more naturally as she walked across the room. This time she halted at the fallen cart. Edward grumbled as he righted it and glanced sharply at his creation, who merely stood as though waiting him to clear her path. Curious, he wheeled the car aside and allowed her to resume her walk. until she reached the wall. She stood facing it, yet made no move to turn or alter direction, pressing her face against the grimy plaster. Rolling his chocolate brown eyes, Edward wondered why she failed to behave as he had hoped. Grasping her shoulder, he guided her to a chair and managed to seat her. At least the knees and hips were functioning properly, which brought him some relief. "I'm going back to my room for a shower and breakfast," he told the seated figure. "I hope that you can keep yourself entertained while I'm gone," he added with a sarcastic smile. He waited for a reply, but none came. "I'll be back to take you to class." A sinking feeling told him that he'd forgotten something crucial. He was thankful that his class was later in the morning, allowing him time to devise a means to transport the automaton from his workshop to the engineering lecture. "If you plan to run amok, please keep it confined to this room. Don't start any fires, and if you mean to wreck anything, wait till I can deliver you somewhere that I truly despise." He received no response, not the expected one. He would have been astonished had she spoken. With a last shake of his head, he locked the workshop door behind him. Edward strode back to the boarding house, enjoying the cool freshness of early morning. Birds twittered lazily among the campus trees, while a lamp post cast faint pools of light against the sky, blooming with pinks and oranges in the east as the sun rose.